Hey y'all, it's Casey Hope from Pizzazz Art Studio, and we are back with another 10-minute challenge. So today it is this fun little watercolor. We have been in a series of using watercolor and just pen and showing you that you can sit down for 10 minutes and create something pretty, something fun, something useful. It could be something that you turn into a card or a gift. But let's see if we can do it in 10 minutes or less, because we don't like hearing y'all say, I don't have time. We hear that all the time. We hear people say, oh, I love to do it, I just don't have the time. But if you've got 10 minutes, we're showing you that yes, you do have the time. All right. So if I can do this in 10 minutes or less, then you get a prize. All right. So we're going to send somebody some happy mail. We send our members happy mail every single month. If you are a club member, you know, or whatever lettering club, we send them happy mail every month that goes along with our lessons. But we want to send one of you, our viewers, some happy mail too. Okay, so here's how you got to enter to win. You have to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you leave a comment, and that you like this video. If you do all those things, and if I can complete this in 10 minutes or less, you get a prize. So let's go and see if I can do it. All right, so here we are. I've got my watercolor paper. I've got my watercolors, pencil. I've got a micron pen. You do not have to have a micron, but it does need to be waterproof, okay? Because we're gonna be going on top of it. And then here we did Sharpie, but you could either do Sharpie or you could stick with your micron, either way. I'm on just loose leaf watercolor paper, but you could be doing this for a watercolor card, a watercolor calendar, in your sketchbook, all kinds of things. All right, so I'm about to set my timer to see if I can do it in 10 minutes or less, and here we go. Oh wait, hold up, I just did that and it was on 9. I'm getting my full 10 minutes. Okay, there we go. So here we go. I'm going to softly do just kind of like a curve here, and then one coming back up here. Okay, so we've got these two planes of snowy ground. And then just to kind of know where I'm going to do this, I'm going to do some straight lines. So I'm going to do a straight line here. That's going to let me know that's going to be my big tree. I'll do one back here that's a little bit shorter that ends on top of this line. A little bit shorter, but now this one's going to go down into the snow. This one landed above it, this one goes into it. Just a couple that are back here right on top of this. And some of them are getting smaller the farther away they go. Okay, here we're going to do one here. A bigger one that comes down a little lower. Neat one that just lands right there. Bigger one that lands there, smaller one that lands here. Okay, do you see how we just have variety? So once you do that and you use some of the principles of, you know, if it's closer to you, it's bigger. If it's farther away, it's smaller. That's going to just make this look interesting. So from here, we are going to just add loose little lines for trees. Okay, we are not trying to be perfect with this. They are kind of skinny. I will erase some of these straight lines because it looks a little too much in there. But it's a very good guideline. Squiggle, 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 squiggle. Squiggle and squiggle. As you can see, this is pretty messy, okay? This is a very messy but fun way to quickly sketch and draw. Now, some of these lines, they're so straight that I'm going to erase them so that we don't accidentally have like just poles like looking in the middle of our trees. All right, so I'm going to erase these just a bit. They serve their purpose as our guideline, which was great. And now I'm going to erase some of them. And I can erase more once I start putting my pen work on. All right, so now before I keep going, let's go ahead with my pencil and letter Winter Wonderland. Okay, Wonderland is a longer word, so I'm going to start over here. Okay, and now I am moving to my pen, and here I go just with a really sketchy, loose outline. Nothing about this is like super solid. It is sketchy and loose. Some of it's not even connected, okay? We don't want this to look perfect. We don't want it to look like a coloring book page where you have sharp outlines. This is really a good one to challenge yourself for the 10 minutes because you're not trying to be perfect, okay? Like I'm trying to do this in 10 minutes or less, and if I was trying to draw each of these trees with perfection, that would stress me out, but I'm not. I'm just having fun with it. I'm being loose with it. I may need to put a few more little lines in some of these. It's more of just a scribbly effect. Putting a few extra little lines in here just to kind of break it up. And I think that's good. I mean, there's some things that if I was trying to really take my time, there are some things I'd go back and do, but I really want to see if I can do this in 10 minutes or less because there is just something empowering about knowing that, hey, I don't have long. All I've got is my lunch break, but even on this lunch break, I can create something that brings peace and play, and it could be just for you to enjoy, or it could be as a gift or a card to encourage others. There's so many different ways that you can use this. So I'm gonna grab that eraser and quickly erase everything. Some of that pencil line. I know I did some of it earlier, but I want to get some of it gone now. And then we're going to start laying in just light mixtures of blues. All right, so let me just push this all off. Now, as you can see, these blues are not straight out of the pan blues. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of mixing. So let's see. I'm going to take maybe this navy and maybe a touch of the gray. And I think this will be good for some of these darker ones, okay? So let me just see in the back. Yeah, maybe a little bit more gray. And I'm gonna go to my smaller brush too. Maybe a little more gray with that navy. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better. And it's just laying it down. Quick little lines, quick little lines. Okay, we want maybe one shade lighter, so I may just add a little bit of this white into this for another shade lighter. Okay, so again, if you're not following the colors that I just mixed, I did that navy blue with a little bit of like that blackish gray for the darker, and then I added a bit of white for the color that I'm on now. Now, if there tends to be not enough contrast, because like right now I'm like, this doesn't look a lot darker than these smaller trees, I'll just come back. to do those. I'll do a little bit more water for the lightest up front. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some on, and then I'm going to use the water to spread it so that they are even lighter. Using a lot of water here. It's a lot of water with this light color. And with that same thing, I can just kind of put a little bit into the ground. It's not a ton, it's not black, it's not a bright blue, it's that kind of very faded blue. Okay, I do want to darken up some of my trees, but before I do that, let me mix a little bit of brown. Dilute it a lot with water because I want it to be very light. I definitely don't want there to be a like something really dark that just stands out. I see that we have less than a minute, and I think I'm going to be okay. But let me just darken up a few more things. So again, that's going to be this blue and the navy. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Blue and the gray. Kind of come back on just a little bit to some of these in the back. I make it even the ones in the foreground. I might add a little bit of detail. All right, my time is ticking. My time is ticking. I'm gonna have to call it quits. I could keep going, but I'm calling it quits because I want to do this in 10 minutes or less. So there you go. I think it needs to be a little bit right there. And we're done. And we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Done. It's done. We did it. 10 minutes. We did it. We did it. We did it. So that means you can too. All right. We like encouraging you to pick up the paintbrushes, pick up your paint, and just get creating. Since we did it in 10 minutes, y'all know what that means. Somebody's getting a prize. All right. So somebody is getting a prize. All you got to do is make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you like this video, and leave us a comment. That's how we know that you're there and watching. All right. Then we're going to draw one of you, just a random draw, and you are getting some happy mail. So that is it for today. Join us next week for another 10-minute challenge.